want to show you this soup that I just had at a friend's house. It's called Hearty Lentil Minestrone soup. It did come from a cookbook, so that cookbook, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I'm not promoting anything on this channel, so I might as well tell you about this cookbook. It's Catherine... hold on. The cookbook is called Love Real Food by Catherine Taylor. The recipe is lentil minestrone soup. I'm going to link the book in the description and show you a picture of the recipe, and I'm just going to be following that basically. I did do it just slightly different, but yeah, let me just show you this soup. It was really good. So first things first, in a soup you're going to have some vegetable broth. I got this at Trader Joe's. This is Hearty Organic Vegetable Broth, and I chose this one specifically. There was a cheaper one at Kroger, but this one has a lot of better ingredients in my opinion. It does have organic parsley, bay leaves, and thyme, which is some of the things we will add to this recipe anyway, so I think this will give us a better flavor. So if you have a Trader Joe's near you, I would recommend getting this. Up next we have the lentils, and as you can see I've made this one, so stuff is open, but the recipe calls for green or brown lentils, so just grab that. I got this at Kroger. Up next we have some Great Northern beans that I got from Kroger. These were only 69 cents. We have some Kroger diced and peeled tomatoes. Makes it easy. You're also going to want a little can of tomato paste. You don't need to get anything big at all. This is the smallest one that Kroger had. This one is Italian style. I don't think it matters. I got this one. You can get any sort of style you want. So now some of those good ingredients that we're going to throw in the soup. This is some celery. We're just going to use two stalks, I guess. We're going to use 2 carrots as well. Got these at Kroger. And of course, soup obviously is going to have some kind of noodles. I got these brown rice penne pasta noodles at Trader Joe's. I got these specifically because they're gluten-free. I'm basically trying to avoid gluten because apparently I have an allergy, but they're good. I already had this once, so they taste like any other normal noodle. Here I have some kale. Got this at Kroger. I like getting the stuff that isn't wrapped in anything, so Kroger's good for that. And this here is a zucchini squash. This is part of the recipe saying your local fresh vegetables, you can add whatever. I thought squash sounded good. You can also add potatoes or anything like that, but this is already a hearty soup. So now we're also going to add a lemon. I've already made this recipe, so I only have half of it, but you only need half of a lemon. And some garlic. 4 cloves of garlic. And finally some seasonings. This is thyme that I get at Trader Joe's, $2 for the whole thing. I think that's a good price based on what I see, and you know, you're probably going to want some of this added flavor, but if you choose to skip it, I would totally understand. To save some money, you could just go salt and pepper and things like that, but I want to get the flavors that the book is talking about. Here's some organic oregano that I also got from Trader Joe's for $2. You can obviously skip that if you'd like, but I think it is a good addition. Finally, I will mention salt and pepper, even though I usually don't, but it's a good thing to add to the soup, so hopefully you already have that. And that's it. Let's do this. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is put a little baking soda in a bowl to wash our vegetables. So just sprinkle some in, don't need much, and fill it with water. And just throw your vegetables in the bowl. Alright, now we're going to chop them veggies up, and I do think it helps to have a nice huge knife if you have one. It makes it a little more fun, but otherwise, go with what you got. Okay, so this recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And I understand that is sort of a lot, so if you are looking to save some calories, or if you don't want to use any oil, since I didn't include that as an ingredient, just use water. Water would be totally fine in this. I'm going to throw in some olive oil. And we're going to get that going, turning this on about 6 here, and we're going to throw our vegetables in. We have that now. Okay, we also want to add our tomato paste to this as well, so grab 2 tablespoons of that. And a pinch of salt, it says, so I'll just do this. And let's stir it up. Alright, that's looking good. Smells good too. Okay, now what we want to do is add the thyme and the oregano. What's nice about this recipe is it calls for 4 cups of vegetable broth, and that is this entire thing, so no measuring involved, just pour it all in. Now it's also calling to add the tomato now, so let's do that. And you don't need to drain it or anything, just add it. Okay, now we're just going to add some more salt and pepper. gonna stir it up a little bit, and then we're gonna let this simmer for 15 minutes. And we're gonna throw the lid on there. And it says to leave a little crack in the lid, which is good, so it doesn't like overflow or anything. I do that often. So let's put that up to like 8, and just get that simmering 15 minutes. I'm just going to do a good amount, and if it's not 2 cups, that's fine. The soup is the best way to eat kale because it gets all nice and soft. But that looks like a good amount there, so let's chop it up. Okay, that's looking good enough for me, so we're going to throw that in now. Alright, it is about that time to add the kale. 15 minutes have passed. This has been simmering good, so let's throw that kale in there. I'm going to stir that up real quick. Okay, looking good there. Now we're going to add the beans and the pasta. Now we just add the noodles. 1 cup of noodles, throw those in there. And that is it all. This makes a lot of servings, which is nice because you can just easily heat this up in the microwave later. I can already tell this looks pretty thick. All right, I'm adding 1 more cup of water because I've done this before, and this will get to the point where it's almost like a chunky mixture, so I want it to be soupy. So I'm adding more water. I'm also going to add some more salt and pepper and seasoning. I don't mind things that have a lot of flavor, so I'm not concerned about too much flavor right now. And we're going to get that simmering again, just like it was before, and we're going to let that go for about another 20 minutes, and then it's going to be good to go. Okay, now is the time to try that soup. I'm going to pull this out and just do a taste test with the noodles and the lentils, see how soft everything got. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's done. And I'm thoroughly hungry. That was 20 minutes of simmering after that first 15 of simmering. So this recipe does take a while. Just be prepared for that, but this tastes incredible. But, oh yeah, we're gonna add the lemon now. So you turn it off, and you just squeeze over the whole half of the lemon. This tastes really good. The first time I've eaten this, that extra kick of lemon is fantastic. I think the recipe calls for like a teaspoon or something, but I'm just gonna squeeze this whole half lemon, and I liked it the first time, so. Stir it up again. You can smell the lemon in there with it. That looks fantastic. Okay, I'm going to season it up a little bit more, I think. A little last kick of flavor in there. Oh, you can really smell it. You can really smell those seasonings in there. So as you can see, adding that extra water was a good thing. This would have just been way too chunky without it. This is already a super thick soup. Alright, I'm going to serve this, take a picture. Okay, taste test time. That took long enough, so let me tell you what I think. The flavor on this is incredible. I love how everything gets really soft in the cooking. The lentils are really soft. You can taste that lemon zing, which is so good. You can taste all the seasonings. It's fantastic. I do recommend some pumpernickel bread toast with it. I think that's a really good combo with this. You might be wondering why I made toast if I made gluten-free soup, but I'm not perfect. I like toast, I like pumpernickel bread, and as long as it's vegan, that's really all that matters, right? So it's hot, it's really good. I just definitely recommend it. This is like, you know, great cold weather food, and if you have like a cold or something, this is like a nutrients explosion. So plenty of flavor and protein and just like vegetables. It's incredible. So I would love to know what you think of it if you make it, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.